Hey guys, gals, JH. Okay, we're back over with the cows today. Got a lot going on the range, so we're back over in the in what we what we affectionately call the cow paddock. And we go from those nice lives the other day to 3 inches of crabgrass. Okay guys, couple of things going forward. Just one thing, a post the other day from one of the channel followers, posted called Robin Wood. Hi Robin, if you're watching. And Robin said that he was in channel lock, he was hitting the ball solid, but the ball was going straight for right-hander straight right. Now, if it's doing that consistently, that's great, because there's only one fault there, and that is the club face is not releasing to the target. The hands and arms go out that way, across the line, but the club face goes towards the target. So in order to get it doing that, and for you Robin, what you've got to think of, and what I think of, which is a little counterintuitive and it's against the grain of teaching in conventional mechanics, in that you know, most people, you know, you see the pictures of all the lag. Well, I don't try and get lag. I've never tried to get lag. I like to get a nice wide arc in the downswing, almost what I would say, a cultured throwaway, like Tom Watson. Tom Watson used to be here. His club looked like that. You never saw Tom Watson in here. Tom Watson was there. Count Yogi was there. I like the width of that arc. Now, in doing that, for me, as I'm starting down from the top of the swing, Robin, I start to turn the club face down like that. From the top of the swing, I start to turn it down like that, from the very top of the swing. And because the shoulders are closed and I've got good support and I'm back here, I don't overturn the club down through the ball. I don't get a smother shot. I never get a smother shot. I just get a nice little tiny little draw. And when I don't turn it down enough, I just get basically a straight shot or a little teensy weensy little leak. The ball just leaks a little bit because the club face is open. So for you, Robin, if you're experiencing, you know, a consistent push, just hit a couple of shots. Just get us and here and just feel like this is happening. We turn the thumb down to the ground very early in the downswing, like that, almost like you're going to try and smother the ball as a feeling. Here, but we don't want to have the into-out hit with the club face open. That's spooning. That's releasing. We come in here, we turn it. By the time the club gets past impact, it's facing over there. That's the target. Club's going out there, arms are going out there. So Robin, just release it. Just turn it down more from the top of the swing. Just get the feeling. Here, just turn the club down. Just do that. Turn the club to the top of the swing and just do that. Here. Fire the turning down your right side. Just try and fire that turning down into the ground. It's counterintuitive and it's against the grain of normal teaching, but I promise you it works wonderfully well. Okay, now I want to just show you, give you an example of why a quiet body will increase the velocity of free swinging arms. Now we used to do this at the Mo Norman school, or when I had my Mo Norman school. I used to have those big old divers boots, you know, the hard hat divers. I had those big 70-pound boots. I had a pair of those on a board, and I used to get into them and I'd stand like this. I'd just stand like this. I'd be on the board, lace my feet, so I couldn't move, couldn't go anywhere, couldn't turn, couldn't do anything. And I used to just get the golf club. Now this was with the Mo Norman, this was from a forward ball position. I used to just get the club on my lead hand, just take the club back here, stay still and do that. Now my body's not moving, guys. Look at the speed, look. Look at the speed. The speed there. Body's not moving. It's crouching a little bit, but it's not rotating and it's not lateralizing. So you really need to try and get that feeling in your golf swing. in the channel lock golf swing. You really need to get that feeling. There. There. Quiet body, trail side back. Here. You might get a little bit of flinch in the knees, a little bit of drop, it doesn't matter. But we don't want any thrust or drive out of that trail side. Feel like you're encased in cement. Feel like that trail hip is going that way while the arms are moving out there. Just hit a couple of shots where you just completely stay immobile like that. Okay, I've sat down a little bit. You'll know when you haven't activated your body. It's amazing how far that's gone. You can play with that on the golf course. You go out and swing like that on the golf course and you can play golf. You'll know when you haven't activated that trail side when you finish your swing and your trail knee is still inside your lead knee like that. If you've activated the trail side, it'll be there. It'll be outside that knee. But if you haven't activated it, it'll be there. It'll be inside here. It'll be like that. Here. You don't want the club there, you want the club there. Put a club in there, and if it points there, your shoulders are closed and your hips are closed when you hit it. If it's there, at the finish, shoulders are open and you've activated your body. Oh yes, we were on that beautiful salubrious grass over there the other day. And that's why I come over here, guys, because hitting shots out of the rough, you've got to hit it right. Because now the bounce fence here, guys, I'm right over with the cows. The cows are looking over the fence here. I'm sort of 8 yards away from that fence there. It runs straight up here. There's a little green, long stretch of grass running up here for 250 metres. It's only a metre wide, and it's only just 4 metres or 3 metres inside the fence. I try and land all these balls between that green patch and the out of bounds fence, and you can do that with channel lock. I mean, that's a 3-yard corridor, and you just land the balls in that. All right, now another thing. In order to get really good tempo in your backswing, and what we call the CRPM, constant rate per motion, and that's the same tempo and the same rate every golf swing, you have to eliminate the hands being independent agents in the backswing. Now that looks good, and you see the best players in the world do that. They'll do that off the ball. They'll do that in a practice swing. But guys, I promise you, you won't do that millisecond the same every time. And that's why I think the early setting of a golf club with the hands is one of the major causes of inconsistency of ball striking and general swing imperfections in the club player. Because this can't be done at the same rate. It may be that rate this swing, then it may be that rate, and then it may be that rate. And I promise you, if you get the backswing operating with independent components like the hands, and you get those flash loading early, that immediately sends a message to the physiology, and the physiology heightens, and it goes up in its rev limit. It's ready to go. Whoa, that's given a signal of quickness. And you don't want to have that. You want to have a signal of gradualness. Is there such a word? For Australians there is, because we can assault the English language like nobody else. So gradualness in the backswing. Now how do we get that? You won't get it doing that with your hands, but you will get it if you do this. Put the club behind the ball like that, leave it there. See this quadrant here? Start your backswing with that. See what happens there? If I push the shoulder back, it pulls the hands. The hands are followers. They are secondary movers in the backswing. They're not primary movers. They're not initiators, they're followers. Just push that. You know why it's good to start with this, guys? Because this doesn't move fast. That's as fast as I can move that. it doesn't want to move fast because it's big and it's connected and there's no independent hinges in it, like there is in the wrists and the lower arm. There's none of that. And you take all this activation of the club head out of the backswing. Because you won't do that the same every time. I promise you guys, you won't do it the same every time. Now, right-handed person, lead shoulder. I don't think, from a anatomic point of view, from a kinesthetic feedback point of view, I don't think starting it back with the lead shoulder is as effective as starting it back with the trail shoulder. I'm already into the turn there, but if I just pull my trail shoulder back here, two things happen. I can get a bigger range of motion, and that trail shoulder actually turns. It makes a real turn. It doesn't make a phantom turn. Sometimes, if you get here and you push that lead shoulder back, even in a normal golf swing, you watch this, even with a normal golf swing, guys. Look, you watch. If I turn my lead shoulder back, look where that's a normal golf swing. Look where my trail shoulder is. Here. Because this shoulder is pushed across into this. This hasn't really gone off by itself, and it hasn't used up its maximum range of motion. Now watch what happens, and the look of the swing, when I pull the trail shoulder back as an initiator instead of the lead shoulder. Now this is just in a conventional golf swing. You saw where it was before? I'm going to pull it back, pull my trail shoulder back. My lead shoulder comes over here because my trail shoulder goes back easier because it opens up my chest. Sam Snead told me that. Sam Snead said he used to try and get the right shoulder to get as far away from the lead shoulder as he could, and he called that opening his shoulders. A lot of people think I'm going to open my shoulders on this, and he said to me, he said, it's so misconstrued. He said, somebody said it somewhere. He said, and I might have said it in my early days because I felt it. He said, but opening your shoulders is not just hitting the ball harder on a drive, it's actually opening your shoulders. It's opening the shoulders. And if you pull that trail shoulder away, you do open the shoulders. Now with channel lock, if I'm going to initiate the backswing with my lead shoulder and not my hands, I'll get this look. If I initiate it with my trail shoulder, get that look. A lot more loading. I feel it. I feel it. So you can do it either way. If you're profoundly right side dominant as a right-handed person, just use the dominant shoulder and the dominant arm. Just pull that shoulder around. But initiating the backswing with those shoulder joints is going to take this out of the golf swing and the inconsistency that goes along with that. Okay. Now, again, revising, reviewing all the time going along. One of the things that's absolutely critical, guys, to channel lock is, of course, making sure that we do swing as much as we can in the channel to impact and, for all intents and purposes, post-impact. Club doesn't go way out there, but we want to think it does. And more to the point, on the downswing, we want to feel that the club goes at 45 degrees to the target line. It won't. It'll probably, I think mine's about 9 degrees into out attack angle, and I've got about 4 degrees shutdown on my golf club, so that's why I get that little push draw with the shot. But I feel like I've got 30, 40 degrees angle when I'm hitting it good. When the striking goes off a little bit, I know that I'm not committed enough to the angularity, and I've got to really, take myself in hand and really say, okay, JH, you've really got to have a lot of closure on your shoulders, and you've got to get a pronounced amount of into-out feeling here, here, here. So work on that. Now the other thing, guys, that will give you the feeling of the quiet body and the active arms, or the free swinging arms, is this. Just do a drill like this. Just set up here, and then take the club to here with a really quiet body. Just fire the club out to there, you know, like 2 feet past impact, 3 feet, maintaining this position here, yeah, and then just take it through a foot a time more. And the more, as you increase that rate of elongation through the ball, you'll feel it you have to do something with your legs to get that extension out there. And what you do with your legs is you bend them. You bend your knees and you squat down. And that supports those arms going out there. And you'll get the feeling of the weight driving into that trail foot. So it's, yeah, post impact. Bit more. A lot. To get out there more, I've got to bend my legs more. That's the message. But that's the way to feel it. And if you've never done that before, it will ram home the real feeling of a quiet body and active arms. And it'll also ram home the absolute body mechanics geometry of closed shoulders and hips. When you hit it, you'll feel that. You'll feel that. You'll feel that closedness here. You don't have to drag your lead hand out there that much. Just fire your trail hand. As long as you can straighten your trail arm as much as you can, doesn't matter what happens with your lead hand. Doesn't matter, as long as it turns down. Now in doing that exercise, just make sure that, sorry guys, just make sure that as you're doing that, you're turning the club over. Here, left hand down, thumb over. There. Okay guys, it's just a couple of points, but I'll keep giving a little bits every now and again. And let's just hit a let's just rip one up there. Okay. Turn that trail foot out. Gonna take this swing back with my trail shoulder, guys. See how I'm into the legs? It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Into the legs. Come on. Turn that trail shoulder, Jage. That's the exercise, guys. Okay, you're warmed up, Jage. You've hit 2 shots. Okay, bomb this one. Really strong left to right wind here. Okay, come on. So I'm sitting into those knees, guys. Now what's interesting is that swing will look, for all intents and purposes, like a very dipsy-doodle type swing. There's plenty on that. Plenty on that. Lots, actually. Sitting into that lead knee. This is what it's just drill hitting and overemphasizing. If we don't get as much of that sit into the knees in the actual swing, doesn't matter. But if we can have that intention, that's what we're all about. Okay, come on. So the hands are passive. Hands are passive. Keep the trail hip back, hit into out. It's easy, guys. Oh, now the other thing is, when you're taking that lead shoulder across, or actually just getting into the backswing, when you take this side across, do it as a rolling thing. Try and roll all this mass into the trail side. Don't just try and take it across like that. Try and roll it into this, so that we're getting the mass moving, we're rolling it. And we're going to roll it so that it gets over here, and if it could keep going, it would keep going. We're rolling the mass this way. And the more you get the feeling of rolling the mass that way, the better weight transfer you'll get. Okay, I'll do a really big mass roll here. Wow. Wow. And there was a big emphasis there, guys, to really get that thumb into the ground, because there's a strong left to right wind here, out of bounds fence there, and it just wants to take it over the fence, so I have to release it down to draw it back into that wind. And so you've got to think about it. When the ball starts going to the right, you've just lost the deliberate application of that turn down. Okay, we're going to roll into the trail side, push over here, and then just really release down. Wow. Wow. Guys, I'm as guilty as everybody, as anybody, in that I get lazy with that roll down. I just get lazy with it. I do. But when I get it going from the top, guys, like that, that's when I've got the real hit on the shot. Okay, last shot. Bomb it, JH. Come on. Push it back with the shoulders. Passive hands. If I could play golf like that for the rest of my life, that'd do me. I'd be happy to swing like that on the golf course, because that result is a causation of this. What I did there gives me that result, and that's perfect ball flight. I've never hit the ball better than that ever with any golf shot I've ever hit in my life. So the mechanics are absolutely dynamically correct if they can give me that type of ball flight. Come on. Guys, 6 iron, that's every bit of 5 iron distance. And it just feels like I'm not putting any effort into that at all. That's just, I don't know, that's just a tiddlywinks type shot. But because I'm really stabilising the hit here, I'm getting such an amazing release. All right, now, I'll actually try and overdo it. I'll try and turn the club from the top like that into the ground and smother it. I'll actually try and get it turned down there, like Lee Como does. Lee Como, if you see Lee Como, I've got some shots of Lee Como at home. Lee Como's there. That's what Lee Como's club looks like. Okay, we don't want to be there, because Lee hits the ball very flat and low. And he's a trapper. No question he's a trapper. But I don't want to do that. I mean, it's a great way to hit the ball. I mean, he traps it and compresses the ball amazingly, but I don't want to do that. And I don't want to do that in channel lock. I want to hit the ball with nice flight. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to push it back with that lead shoulder. It's just so easy. Okay, try and turn it into the ground even more than that. I tried to actually smother that shot. I wonder if I can smother it. I'm going to try and smother the shot. I don't think I can. I don't think I can smother the shot. I'm going to try. Smother is that. Wow. Well, guys, I normally don't clamp down on top of the ball and then the club into the ground afterwards, because I'm very, very shallow. But because I tried to trap it then, I really clamped the ball and you know, push the club down on top and the divot and the club into the ground after the golf ball. Now that's the worst I'll get, but the ball went fantastic. A lot of hit on it. Lower flight than normal because I had a lot more trap on the shot, clearly. And that's as much as I can turn it down. Okay, no, I don't want to do that, but I just want to see if I could trap it. Okay, go back. Last shot, just hit a perfect shot, James. Come on. What a great shot to finish with. Wow. Okay, guys, so a few points there. Some good stuff, I think. A lot of stuff there, but they're all bits that you can put in your golf swing. And you can put them into the degree that you want. But every one of those things makes a difference in channel life to an individual.